Hi, yogis. So this is a short sequence, and it was by request for low back. This was a sequence that I borrowed from Jason Crandall, one of my favorite teachers of all times, and I used it after a couple summers ago, and I was on the rides, and we did this like whatever that roller coaster is at Wonderland, and like just like every roller coaster is. I was doing something. I was like holding on tight, and I tweaked my low back, and so I practiced this religiously for a week, and it's like a miracle. I call it like a yoga prescription. So one thing I want to show you, actually two things. There's going to be a point in time where I'm going to ask you to we're going to do a lot of internal external rotation. But one point in time, I'm going to ask you to walk your foot out to the side, just like this, not forward, not back, and drop the knee in. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. You're going to be reclined. And then I'm going to have you come ankle to knee, and then I'm going to tell you to drop that position forward. So it's going to look a little bit like this, but you're going to be on your back. Okay, so this class is going to be all reclined. Here we go. All right, so come to lie flat. Oh, strap. So I obviously have my yoga strap. You might have one. If you don't, just be creative. Whatever, be creative. Find something. Okay, so when you're ready, please come to lie flat. Take a nice big full breath in, and full breath out. Good, one more full breath in, and full breath out. So we're gonna get to the low back, but kind of circuitously. We'll start with the hips and hamstrings. So I invite you to just hug the right knee towards your chest, keeping the left foot on the floor. So remember, if we were really going for some big kind of yang vinyasa style stretch, I'd have you take the left leg long, but this is TLC for the low back. So keep the left foot on the floor as you hug the right knee in. And just be pretty aware of the positioning of the head and neck. So you want a neutral, you don't want the chin lifting or tucking, just pretty neutral. So just hugging in for another moment. Good. And then release. Okay, please grab your, I feel like a weeble. Grab your strap and stretch the leg up. Now I see like every time someone grabs a strap, they become this like aggro strap holder. So loose. Slide your hands down with the shoulders and the upper arms rest, and just take a neutral position here. So we're not like pulling the leg in, we're just giving it a moment. Good, and then option to stretch that left leg straight. Now you can bring a little more flexion into the right foot. I like the strap right on the ball, but so as you can see, I've moved my hands up the strap a little bit. And I want you to think about activating your left leg. So flex your foot, press the leg bone down. Full breath in and out. So one more breath here. And so I'm going to have you, for just a moment, take both ends of the strap in your left hand. Take your right hand, use your thumb, and press into the hip crease to kind of like press that leg away. Good. I might just use that thumb there for another moment, and then bring both hands back. All right, both hands on the strap. And by both hands, I mean right hand. Right hand, both ends of the strap. You're gonna take your left hand and anchor it down onto the hip and just start to open the right leg up. So it might not come that far, no worries. I just want you to keep your hips grounded. Both hips are grounding on the floor. I really love left hand. So, you know, if you're wearing yoga pants, you probably don't have a pocket, but that's always a good cue. It's just like you're really pressing the hip bone down, so anchoring. Good, come back. And now you're gonna take your left hand and grab both ends of the strap. I like right arm anchoring out to the side and drop the leg over. You don't have to go far. As you might see, I'm not going all the way down. but I feel a really nice kind of amount of tension on the IT band. That's it. Like if you're wearing jeans, you used to have the seam in the side of the pants right there. Good, one more breath. And come back, release your strap, give the leg a hug in. This is Pavanmuktasana. Hug in as much as you want with that right leg. Keep your left leg pretty grounded. Good, and then put the right foot on the floor and hug your left knee in. Good, just hugging in. Again, just kind of be aware of the positioning of your neck. You don't want to create any more tension. Just a couple more breaths. Okay. Go ahead and grab your strap, put it around the ball of the foot, and stretch your leg up. And again, we're not really beginning to come deep into the hamstring stretch. We're just kind of letting the leg be lengthy here, fairly neutral. And then when you're ready, you can stretch the right leg long and activate the right leg. So right away, if you want, you can just take for a moment, take both ends of the strap in the right hand, use your left thumb, press it into the hip crease to kind of press that leg away. I felt it a little more on the other side. This side I'm not feeling as much, but I know that I have neutral hips. That's what I'm looking for you. And you can come back both ends of the strap and get the upper arm bones on the floor. My right foot kind of naturally opened up into like a shavasana. I'm going to ask you to re-engage there and just engage the right leg as you stretch the left leg. Okay. Both ends of the strap in the left hand open up. So I've got the wall here. So I'm actually just going to use the wall. I'm going to just let my leg rest on the wall, but hopefully you don't have that issue. Right hand pressing on the hip bone there, as if it was in the right front pocket. You can really even activate the right quadricep. So muscular effort, there's a hugging in action, and we press the leg bone to the floor. Good, and then come back up. Now both ends of the strap come in the right hand and the left leg crosses over the body. You could do left arm in a T for support, right? Whatever you feel like is a really stable position. You don't have to go far. In fact, sometimes if you go too far, what's happening here, I've just come into a twist. I'm actually only feeling a twist. I took everything out of my IT band. So if that happened to you, come back, and you almost want to keep you do want to keep the sacrum on the floor and the left sit bone just kind of hovering maybe. A couple more breaths here. And come back to neutral. And then from here, release your strap, put it to the side and hug the leg in. You might catch like a really nice full belly breath here. Okay. Release both feet to the floor. And so in the beginning, I was like kind of seated and I kind of walked my foot out to the side. I'm going to ask you to do that now. So heel toe your right foot out to the side a couple of times. So I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times until you really can't go too much further. And then it's an internal rotation. So you're just dropping that right leg in, right? This is problematic for the knee. You can come out, but if it feels safe, I want you to think about lengthening the right knee away from the hip, and there's just a very gentle action of guiding that thigh bone towards the floor. Right, so you're on the inner toe mount and inner ankle as you press down. Now, there's very few yoga postures that have this really deep internal rotation. We have to kind of create these movements. Good, and then stand the leg back up, walk the knee back in. Okay, when I say knee, it's really like foot walks back in. Okay, so here's the other position I showed you. So we come to ankle to knee. Let me just pause for a few moments here. We'll come into that kind of like a supine square pose in a moment, but to begin, we stay here. And then if you want, you can just hug that left leg in. The right elbow's a nice kind of lever to press the thigh bone away. You can flex both feet. Okay. And then put that left foot down. So none of this changes, right? The shape stays. What I'm doing is we're coming to sleeping pigeon twist. In preparation, my left foot, I just kind of heel-toed it over towards the right a little bit, lifting my hips. And then we're just dropping. Nothing changes in the legs. We just drop it to the left. I use my left hand kind of hold on to that lower shin. Just kind of pressing the right leg away. It just felt natural for me to put my hand on my rib cage. You choose where your right hand goes. You can also feel what it's like to let that right knee drop in a little towards the body. So I feel a lot of sensation here in like the outer band of the hips when I drop it in. So as I'm dropping in, I'll kind of pause, and I feel quite a bit of sensation here. I'm going to pause. And then if you want, you can press away. So I feel this sensation in the same place, but it changed, right? It's just a little, it's different. You might notice that. Good. And then come back to neutral. So you kind of like lift and reel on your hips for neutral. So you can say just like this, or now your left foot, you're gonna just kind of heel toe. So you're walking your left foot over to the right edge of the mat. You know when you do, like when somebody pretends they're walking downstairs. I feel like when you like walk that foot, it's like my legs are already beginning to kind of fall down. So I'm gonna let them. I'm using a little bit of gravity, a little bit of my own volition here to let the legs drop down. Good. I like opposite elbows clasped overhead. This is unusual. Make sure it's not painful. Like unusual and where you may feel it. Good, and then release. Come up. And come back to your start. Okay. Now from neutral, from your feet are kind of like you were going to come into bridge or even a little wider. You're just going to start to walk that left foot directly out to the left, not forward, not back, just to the left, and then drop the left knee in. I like to flex my foot here. I feel like I get a little more protection for the knee. And so if this is not good for you in any way, if there's like a sharpness, if there's any kind of like, there's difference between a muscular stretch and pain. So if you're feeling pain, you're going to come out. Okay? If you feel like you're safe here, you're just kind of guiding the knee away from the hip and pressing the thigh bone down to the floor. And then we'll stand it back up, walk the foot back in, and cross your left ankle over the right thigh and hug in here. For me, it was natural just to rock a little side to side, so you could choose that little bit of rocking. You're going to flex your foot. So it's interesting, I didn't naturally bring my left elbow to the thigh to press away, just kind of let it be. But if you want that little extra pressing away action, press away. Good, and then release. And now nothing changes here. We just tip it on its side, right? And you can take the right hand, I'll kind of usually gather up the lower shin. And just be like wherever you are, just be there for a moment. And then you can let that left knee kind of drop in towards you a little. Mine doesn't go very far on this side. And then you can actively press it away. Good. And come back to neutral and then come all the way back. And just hug the left leg in, let the right leg be long. Good, and release. Okay, so from here, Arms in a T. You can like rock your knees a little side to side, and then we'll come into the twist. So we'll rock a little bit. One last breath. And then as you exhale, go ahead and drop the knees to the right. Now, if the right thigh doesn't come to the floor, put it with a pillow. And if the left thigh doesn't rest on the right, put the pillow between the legs so there's some place to rest. You choose whether the gaze is neutral, and you can kind of imagine looking up to the ceiling. If the eyes are open, you can close them. Or sometimes it's nice to just let the right chin drop to the right shoulder. And make sure the body is like in a safe space where you can really receive a full breath in and out. Last breath. And then come back to neutral and just kind of, I like hands to shins right below the knee. It's a good holding place to rock. Good, and then arms back in your T and drop the knees to the left. Again, using a pillow or blanket or whatever support system you have so that the legs rest on something. They shouldn't be hovering, right? Because that requires you to do too much work in the low back, too much effort muscularly. So we just want to let it go. And also you can feel into, sometimes we're very good at holding on so we can twist deeper, right? It's like when we grab the strap, we want to get as much length as we can through the hamstring. And same thing here, when we twist, we want to just kind of crank out the twist, but really just kind of let go with all the support muscles in the spine. And come back, put your feet on the floor. Lift and realign your hips. And then take your feet about mats width apart, take a full breath and exhale. Come into this wide knee. It's a twist, but it's really just this opener for kind of like the front of the hip. So option to take the right ankle over the left thigh. Again, option arms overhead if you'd like. Oh crap, I forgot something. We'll come back to it. I knew when I put my arms overhead that something felt strange. Okay, undo. But before we come back, let's do that wide knee kind of twist in the low body, but then front hip opener. So if you want, left ankle comes over the right thigh. And then we'll come back to neutral, and just a short pause in the action. Do you have Gregor, are you dressed? Okay. A short pause in the action. This is time for you to come on in. It's time for you to just get a sip of water. Don't check your email because it's not going to be that long. Don't text a friend. Okay. We're back. Okay. So coming back down, here's that supine kind of square pose. So left ankle crosses over right leg. You might heel toe that right foot a couple times, over. You're already going to feel there's this kind of downward action happening. And then when you're ready, you can I'll work my feet into a flex position and then let the legs fall. Here's where it felt good to bring the arms overhead. This is a really different, unusual sensation we don't often get here in yoga. It's kind of nice. Okay, come back up. Good, walk back in. And then let the feet join each other, let the knees come apart, and we'll just kind of pause here for a few moments. Now, if this doesn't feel good, if you're home, you can stack a pillow under each thigh. Like this whole kind of endeavor is to create opening through the hips to ease the low back. So we just use the positioning here of the thighs to create a little opening along the adductors, like the inner thighs. And then take your hands and help the legs back together. Just a little windshield wiper here. Okay. And then go ahead and roll to your side. Come on up. Just to target the low back for a moment. Bring the soles of the feet together. And you can take the hands along the tops of the feet, elbows to the calves, and just let yourself fold. Let the breath be steady and full through both nostrils. And taking one more full breath in and full breath out. And press your heels together, slowly rise up. Extend your right leg long, put the left foot along the inner thigh, take a full breath. And exhale, fold. Just taking a few moments here to tap back into the hamstring. You might feel the outer hip on the left side. You certainly might feel the band across the low back, called the quadratus lumborum or the QL. Good, one last breath. Come on up. Good, and we'll switch sides. So the left leg is long, right foot at the inner thigh. Take a breath, and then fold. You might feel this differently from one side to the next. And then inhale, come on up. Good. And from here, stretch both legs long, getting deeper into the hamstring. We'll just come to the side. So here's what I don't like. I don't like the strap in this posture because it makes us be like greedy strap monsters. So flex your feet, roll the shoulders open and back. Let your hands slide down the shins. Maybe they kind of land and stay, or maybe they come to the feet. And we fold over. Good, last full breath in. And full breath out. And press the legs down, inhale. Good, take the hands behind you and just get a counter here. So just really stretching the chest forward, lifting up. Good, and release. Okay, come to the seated position. And let the index finger and thumb join, let the arms be long. We'll take 3 full breaths. And when you're ready, let the hands join each other at the heart, with them rest in the skin. Take a full breath in through the nose, pause and hold. Open the mouth, let it go. Namaste.